guys, so today we are going to be making splatter screen pumpkins. Now this is what they look like at Dollar Tree. I've been seeing these splatter screen centerpieces all over Pinterest, and I thought, I wonder if I can make a splatter screen wreath. I'm only going to use two because I like the way that looks a little bit better. And I've also popped off the handles because I do not like how long the stem is on this. That's just a personal preference. You can feel free to leave yours on. But you just push down and this little plastic piece comes right out. This is the part that's a little bit of a pain. What I do is I kind of like twist to get one over the other like that, if you can see. And then this is where you kind of have to shimmy it out. Now if you have, you know, anything that can cut through this and avoid this whole process, do that. Do that instead, but I do not have that. So what I did is I just kind of pull and yanked at this until they came out, and these wires are in there pretty long on each side, so you're gonna have to really give it a good yank to get them out of there. I have mine outside drying, but you do not have to spray paint. You can use a primer underneath if you want to. I didn't bother with that. Light sprays back and forth until it was completely covered, and then I went around to make sure the edges were covered. But you don't have to spray paint if you don't want to. If you like this metal look, go for it. I also have this welcome sign that I'm going to put on mine, and I will be using craft wire to secure the pieces together along with E6000 glue. I will show you all of that in a minute, but I'm sure there's going to be ribbon, rope, all kinds of stuff thrown on this thing. My spray paint is dry, so I went ahead and lined it up kind of how I want it. I wanted the welcome sign to kind of be in the center, and I'm also trying to hide up here where the handles are. But what you're going to want to do, whether you use 2 or 3, that's up to you. I just like the way 2 looks better. My door is smaller. I don't want a giant thing on a small door. So just, you know, adjust that how you need to. But I am going to take some wire and I am going to loop through where the 2 ends are connecting. So up here where they're connecting and down here where they're connecting. I am going to go ahead and go down here. Go through both. Twist. Try to go back down under as close as I can, but still keeping in mind that I need to make this look like a pumpkin. So I have the wires through, and I am just going to take and kind of spin this and twist towards the back, and then I'm going to clip off of that. And I'm just going to adjust. I'm going to take my welcome sign, make sure that it's where I want it, and make sure that this still looks like a pumpkin, the way I want my pumpkin to look. You can make it as, you know, small as you want, but I kind of like that kind of bigger look there. I'm going to take a really long piece for the top because I did cut my handle off, and I'm going to go through top and bottom, just like I did before, just like that. And this time, instead of going through again and like twisting at the bottom, I'm just going to twist right here really tight, and then I'm going to use this as my stem. So I have what I'm going to use as my stem. I went through, twisted here, and then I created like a little hook that I'm going to use to hang, and twisted there. So I've twisted around it. If you're not going to be using any type of rope or ribbon or whatever you may choose to go around these edges here, you're going to want to take it and spray paint where you have rubbed the items together, because there is some blemishes there. Put a little dollop of glue there, and I'm going to push that down in there so it gets real good. Basically just want to lock those two things into place. And I'm going to do the same thing up at the top where my stem is, and really get a good old dollop in there to lock those two things into place. Now, it does take E6000 glue longer to dry than it does a glue gun. I got this rope from Dollar Tree. It's called decorative nautical rope, but I've seen it at Walmart too. This is 13 feet. I have 2 rolls of it. I have a start point here that I want to use. I'm going to go ahead and just use E6000. Because it does take E6000 glue longer to dry, you have to be gentle. What I would typically do is I would put E6000 down and then some hot glue, E6000 hot glue. That way the hot glue is drying faster and holding it in place until the E6000 is hardened and dry. Now, I did speed this clip up, but I want to emphasize that you need to go slow, take your time, and make sure you're covering that edge nicely. But for viewing purposes, I did speed this part up. You are going to clip at the top with some scissors, put down some glue, and hold it until you're sure that that is secure. Now for the inside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here where that's met, and I'm going to go around the same thing. To this point, you're following this line that's in here. So I did end up using both E6000 and hot glue. I find the hot glue helps kind of hold everything in place, but E6000 is going to make it last longer because hot glue tends to reheat, melt, and everything kind of falls apart on you if you have it in direct sunlight or you have warmer falls. Definitely recommend you use E6000 for that. But you just follow along, again, taking your time. Do not rush this part or you will be very, very sad. And then before you glue down the last little bit, you clip off, then you glue, and you kind of secure everything down. So what I'm going to do for my stem, now that this is all dried, and I can move it without it moving the rope around, I'm going to take that same rope, and I just kind of untwisted it, like so. And I am going to just kind of wrap it around the piece that I have here, this wire piece. So I'm putting E6000 and some hot glue here. I'm going to shove that in it towards the back. I have that glued down, and now I'm just going to wrap around this piece here. And I'm going to glue as I go to keep it in place. So I'm going to try to glue towards the back because I'm not going to see that. Try not to burn yourself. Then for the tip of this, I am going to go ahead and take twine. It's just a little twine. And I'm going to go ahead and just go through that a few times and try to cover that wire. I'm going to flip it back over again. I'm going to cut off this bit here. And we are going to glue again. So because we use the wire as our stem is now bendable. I can bend it however I want. Stick straight up if we want. We can bend it down and make it curl. It's just why I like using the wire. If you want to create some sort of like vine, you can use twine to kind of hang it down. There's green twine too if you want to add some green. But now this is the part where you're just going to decorate it however you want. I think I'm going to keep mine pretty simple. I do wish I would have gone, instead of going cream, white on the inside just to make this pop a little bit more. But you could always spray paint this. I don't know how well that would go. I don't know. I'm going for more neutral this year anyway. So this for me is fine. I went ahead and made myself a bow. This is old ribbon from last year from Dollar General. They don't have it this year. I went and I looked. But you can find any type of ribbon out there that you're going to like. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to twisty tie mine on because I might want to change this up later. Here you're going to see me use the E6000 and hot glue together again just to kind of immediately secure that sign into place, but having the E6000 to kind of make it last longer so I can have it for a few seasons and not, you know, just 1 or 2 falls. I want it to last a couple of years. And before you go and do any of this gluing stuff, make sure you center it and know exactly where you're about to place it down. So that way you're not messing this up. Because once you put it down, the glue will pull up the spray paint that you just used. So be very, very precise with this part. And so I don't burn myself, I am using scissors because I've already burnt myself a couple of times during this video. But yeah, that's pretty much the basic gist of this. Add leaves, add flowers, add whatever you think of when you think of fall, add it and make it your own. And then to hang this, I just used the same twine as I did earlier. I went at the bottom of the stem piece, looped it around, kind of tied it on really securely, and adjusted it to the length that I needed for my particular door. And there you go, super simple. It blends in nicely and looks great. And that's what it looks like on my door, guys. I do have a smaller door, so that's why I only use 2 rings. If you use 3, you're gonna get more of an oval pumpkin, but I like the, you know, the little rounder pumpkins. And I was gonna add a bigger bow, but then it covered up my stem. So keep that in mind too when you're making your stem part. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I am just looking for more neutral, more simple. I'm just a simple kind of girl, you know? So I am happy with this, but feel free to bling this out, add lace, add whatever your heart desires. And if you make one of these, feel free to tag me on Instagram. I love seeing you guys make what I made. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!